do a cut and then start. So after the second tune, I'll cut it off and then we'll regroup.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able to in joining the graduating class in the Pledge of Allegiance and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Coming to the edge, running on the water. Coming to the edge, running on the water. Running, 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 running. Coming to the running, 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 running. Coming to the running,
come, running on the water. Come, running on the water. Come, running on the water. Come, running on the water.
Hi, my name is Annie Moan, your student body president. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Fox Chapel Area High School senior class of 2025. Anna DeLalie O'Connor's favorite word is perpendicular. Jonah Klein's hype song is Unforgettable by French Montana. And Ella Jennings is most thankful for her cat. Today, as I stand here in front of beloved students, faculty, family, and friends, I want to ask everybody a very serious question. What is your favorite type of cheese? You may think I've lost it, but stay with me. When passing someone in the hallway, it's nearly impossible to know all of the different facets that make up who they are or what they're going through. So, how do we really get to know each other? Nowadays, it's easy to think you know everything about someone based on what you've seen in the classroom, on stage, on the field, or what they've chosen to show you on social media. Yes, they look great in their prom photos, and the sticker on their calc test lets you know that they must be a genius, or that maybe you should have studied a little more. But there is so much more to someone's story than their highlight reel. Learning the unique, fun facts that make someone who they really are allow us to break down this wall of curated perfection and truly understand one another. Our society has taught us to assume, but today I encourage you to be curious. I've written Fox Chapel's weekly newspaper called The Toilet Paper for 2 years now. Yes, those grammar and spelling mistakes were mine. Sorry, Mr. Kirk. Every Monday, the newsletters are slipped into their plastic holders stuck to the bathroom stall, hence the name. And as the writer of The Toilet Paper, I've had the privilege of getting to know my classmates beyond what's on the surface. Through a series of silly questions featured at the bottom of the page, I filled a file in my brain of random facts about my classmates, like Nathan Mackey, 22% accuracy on your March Madness bracket. That's concerning considering you're the leader of the investment club. Week by week, question after question, I grew more closely connected to my peers, knowing not only the highlights of their life, but the minute details that we could truly bond over, or sometimes argue over. 50 First Dates is Gianna Tavalario and I's favorite rom-com, but Chris Bandersky and I can't seem to agree on whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's not. Picture me, standing with a clipboard, hovering over a lunch table, asking a weird question, and opening up a new discussion, one in which the friends who have sat next to each other all semester learn something new or maybe shocking about their neighbor. The response, written on my clipboard, makes its way to the final PDF of that week's newsletter, and the information and connections spread. Suddenly, students' time in the stalls becomes a chance to get to learn about the people they assumed they knew so well. They read an answer to a question, pass the classmate in the hall, and spark a conversation, a connection. Look around at your classmates. Reflect on the successes they've reached, the laughs you've shared, the music they've performed, the tests you've passed and failed together, the art they've created. Yes, these big picture things bring us together, but so do the small moments of learning and accepting the imperfection and uniqueness of one another. I am incredibly grateful for my experience writing The Toilet Paper because the niche questions of who is the greatest athlete of all time, what is your most used emoji, and how many minutes of music did you listen to this year are the reason I feel connected to so many of you. And whether you realize it or not, they're the reason you feel connected to one another. To my friends, thank you for your loyalty and your laughter. You guys are the reason I'll look back at these years and smile. To my siblings, Mac, Jay, and Ella, being your sister is the greatest joy of my life. I hope to be a sliver of who you all are one day. To my parents, thank you. Thank you for nourishing my ambition and supporting me through anything and everything. I would not be where I am today without you two. So, many years from now, when you see the perfect photo of a classmate's engagement or med school graduation, shoot them a DM and ask, "What's your favorite type of cheese?" And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our head principal, Dr. Hauer.
Mine's hot pepper, by the way, if you needed to know that. Thank you, Annie, and thank you to the Board of Directors, faculty, families, friends, and graduates. I have the distinct honor of certifying that the class of 2025 has officially met the requirements for graduation. But before I do, I want to take a final moment to talk to the students one last time before you move on to greatness, or before at least some of you get in a car and head off to Ocean City this evening. That's the rumor I heard. Anyways, to the class of 2025, I really do want to say thank you. Thank you for the past 4 years. You have amazed us with your achievements. You have touched us with your compassion. You've definitely established new traditions, and you might have just broke a rule or two to keep things interesting. Now, as graduates, I bet you've been asked the question, what's next? It's like society is playing a giant game of career Jeopardy where you're supposed to have all the answers. But let's pause just for a second and talk about what really matters. Actually, I'm going to talk about what really matters to me, and that's boating. Yes, it's boating. You see, many of you probably don't know is that I am an avid boater. I am absolutely love being on the water. So it's about time I share some thoughts from my favorite pastime. So hopefully I can steer home a few words of wisdom from the not-so-seaworthy captain that has been known to have a mishap or two at sea. What I know to be true about boats are they're generally safe at the dock or in the harbor, but that's not what boats are built for. They are meant to explore, to risk, to sometimes even drift awkwardly until somebody figures out how to use the GPS. Like you weren't built to stay tied to the dock. You were built to cruise, and sometimes cruise into the unknown, ideally with calm seas, but take it from me, that's not always the case. I have been known to break down, maybe even run aground, get lost, and possibly even crash a time or two. So I have a little advice for you along your journey, maybe other than just not get in a boat with me, is first, wear some of that sunblock that your loved ones gave you. That is really important to heed their advice because they only have your best interests at mind. Second, people will always judge the decisions that you have made and in which direction to steer your boat, but they don't always know the choices that you had. So make sure that you're kind to yourself along the way. Third, never take criticism from anyone that you would not ever let take the wheel. And lastly, if you want to make the wrong decision before you set out to sea, make sure you take the time to literally ask everyone. The point is, trust your gut and trust the people that gave you the sunblock. Those are the ones that are going to help steer you along the way. So here's the truth. No risk, no story. And trust me, the best stories begin with a little bit of, wait, what if I, or maybe, followed by a bold action of putting the boat in gear. So I encourage you to go ahead and untie those dock lines. And don't worry too much about what was. Don't get tangled in what's next. Just take a moment right now and celebrate what is. Because what is on your journey, I can tell you, is pretty amazing. Take care 2025. Be bold while at sea. And don't forget to wear that sunscreen. And now at this time, it is my pleasure to certify that the class of 2025 has met all the requirements for graduation, and introduce Dr. Mary Catherine Reljak, Superintendent of Schools, to accept this incredible, hilarious, forever legendary class of 2025. Good luck.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to be here with the class of 2025, their family and their friends, the district's educators, administrators, and staff, and the Fox Chapel Area Board of School Directors. Graduation Day is a special day, and I am honored to speak with you for just a few moments. Class of 2025, today we celebrate you. We celebrate your hard work, your growth, your accomplishments, and your dreams. We are proud of you. We are proud of your visible achievements and for those that are hidden and known only to you. We commend you. We commend you for overcoming challenges, persevering instead of giving up, and taking calculated risks to create your story. Today, I ask you to take a moment to reflect. Reflect on your academic accomplishments, your friendships, and your milestones, but also reflect on the kindness that you felt or that you showed others. As you prepare for the next chapter in your life, do so with purpose, with passion, with care, and with community. Do so with kindness. As you go out into the world, never miss an opportunity to be kind to someone else and to treat them with dignity, respect, and grace. One moment of kindness can do wonders for someone else. Be part of that wonder by being kind. We are so proud of each and every one of you. You will always have a home with us here in the Fox Chapel Area School District, and we are here for you now and into the future. No matter where you go in life, you will always represent the Fox Chapel Area School District. Represent us well. As the Superintendent of Schools for the Fox Chapel Area School District, and as a commissioned officer by the Pennsylvania Secretary of Education, I accept the class of 2025 for graduation. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Beth Dadd, President of the School Board. Students, it is an honor to be part of the ceremony that launches you into the next chapter of your life. With this new chapter, you may be filled with many emotions: joy, excitement, anxiety, fear, but that's okay. It's okay to be unsure of the future as long as you keep moving forward. Whether you choose to enter the workforce, military, an apprenticeship, or college, you have many options waiting for you. Try something new, meet new people, and never stop learning. And if something doesn't work out, that's okay too. You can change your path until you find what is right for you. If you need help, ask for it. You come from a community with numerous people who care about you. But the bottom line is, take that chance, put yourself out there, experience the world around you, and keep learning. But before you do that, I want you to thank your parents and family members for helping you through the last 13 years. They have also worked hard to get you here, and you have made them and all of us so proud. Thank you.
Friends, family, faculty, good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rohit Velankar, and I'm honored to be your 2025 graduation speaker at large. And for those of you who do know me, hey, what's up? So the first draft I wrote after signing up to do this was painfully generic and just way too long, so instead I'm going to start off by telling a story. Bear with me. A few years ago, I got a t-shirt. Now, this wasn't a new t-shirt, it was some old hand-me-down from a family friend. And on it was a graphic of a weathered gas station in the desert at night, above it floating the words, "Where do we go from here?" Throughout the last 2 or 3 months of school, I started seriously contemplating this question, where do we go from here? I thought about it constantly, wondering what my life would look like just a few months into the future. I guess to attempt to answer it, I'll say physically, we'll be going to college campuses, trade schools, military installments, and workplaces where we'll discover what the future has to hold. Well, that answers that question, right? Next question, I've been waiting 13 years. When do I get to throw my cap? Now, I'm joking, of course. The question of where do we go from here is not an easy one to answer, but it can be made easier if we do it by parts. Like Mr. Barley taught us, when you're evaluating a one-sided limit, it doesn't just matter where you're headed, it also matters where you're coming from. So maybe the question I should be asking first is, where did we come from? I say we came from the little things. Fighting to be line leader and having indoor recess during thunderstorms. We came from what we learned, the role of the mitochondria in the cell and the funnel method for TDAs. We came from our shared experiences, a deep resentment for the PSSAs, and more seriously, a 1.5 years of COVID paranoia. And when that hybrid chaos finally ended and we really got settled into high school, we found that we came not from the polyatomic ions and world history dates that we memorized, but from the people we memorized them with. And so having reminisced on where we came from, we're led inevitably to that desert gas station from my t-shirt. It's a moment of liminality, thank you, Mrs. Green, as we transition from where we've been to where we're going. And like the coffee that we drank to stay awake in chemistry, moving on is bittersweet, but ultimately necessary. At the gas station, we filled up our fuel tanks with knowledge to keep us going, inflated our tires with resilience against bumps in the road, spent our parents' money on cheese mac and cheese bites, and now that we have the key in the ignition, it begs the big question, where do we go from here? And the answer is onward. And it won't be easy out there. We won't always know where we're going or how exactly we're going to get there. But onward is a place where we will have to take responsibility for our own futures, and when it gets hard, just figure it out. Independence is daunting, but it's empowering. We'll have to be ambitious and resourceful, but also personable and empathetic. So, when you pull out of that gas station and hit the open road, be confident in yourself and show kindness towards others. Be the best version of yourself and strive for excellence, because if you embrace all of these qualities, contentment and virtue, like an embarrassing freshman year nickname, will follow you wherever you go. I would now like to take a moment to thank the people who brought us here. Thank you to our incredible teachers who gave us knowledge and wisdom. Thank you to our family members who cheer us on unconditionally, and thank you to the school support staff without whom none of us could be here. I would also like to personally thank my older brother, whose annoyance at having a drive-through graduation in 2020 drove me to stand up here today. You've always been a source of guidance in my life, so thank you. And lastly, to the class of 2025, it's been nothing short of an absolute honor enduring the last 13 years with y'all. We'll see you around. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kellen Blyer, and I'm honored to be standing up here as a vice president of our class to introduce one of the most loved teachers at our school. Mr. O'Connor has been teaching for 24 years at Fox Chapel Area High School. He attended Edinboro University, where he also played baseball, and later earned his graduate degree there. He then went on to receive his teaching certificate from California University of Pennsylvania. Mr. O'Connor is one of those teachers that makes class feel like less of a lecture and more of a conversation that you truly want to be a part of. It has been an incredible second semester having Mr. O'Connor for sports English. Honestly, it's like the class I look forward to the most every day. If you have ever been lucky enough to sit in one of Mr. O'Connor's classes, you learn so much more than just English. Whether he's cracking jokes, telling a personal story, or calling someone horsey in the most affectionate way possible, he somehow gets a room full of seniors to actually pay attention. What makes Mr. O'Connor really stand out is the way he's able to connect to each and every one of us, and the care he displays for each and every one of us. My favorite part of class is when he starts telling a story back from his crazy high school and college days that somehow always related back to what we were learning about. It's a great pleasure to present to you the man, the myth, the horsey, Mr. O'Connor.
Thanks, Horsey. I haven't heard applause like that since I told him I was going to be absent for 2 days. Thank you for the nice introduction, Kellen. And class of 2025, while I got you here, I want to thank you all for allowing me to interrupt your daily routine of complaining and listening to mumble rap and texting each other. Thank you. I want to thank you for always raising your hand when I asked you a thought-probing or an open-ended question, and you responded with, "Can I go to the bathroom?" Thanks for filling up your 100-ounce Stanley cups, your steel cups of water, and then knocking over 99 ounces of them on my floor. The Stanley Cup is literally a Stanley Cup now, apparently. Thank you for getting dressed up each day in your finest ripped sweatpants, Uggs or Crocs with mismatched socks, and hoodies and shorts. I really appreciate your effort. In all sincerity, what a great group of kids we have here that have come through in 2025. And I'm sorry, Pirate fans, but there's a saying here among the staff that we work for the Yankees, and these kids are all all-star players. At this time, I'd like to ask that all 3,000 people put their phones on my desk in the front here. You can get them at the end. Sorry, that's a force of habit. Speaking of these, when a baby becomes fussy or cries, parents give them a pacifier, and they are soothed. When you become fussy, you take this, and you are soothed and calmed by your pacifier. My Italian exchange students told me it's called a ciuccio or a chooch. I'm not gonna lie, this thing certainly has made things easier and faster, but I think that having your head down for 18 hours a day in this is preventing you from fully enjoying life, and you're really missing out on some of the true natural highs of life. A few years ago, I did what many 50-year-old men do when they go through their second midlife crisis. I joined a boxing gym. So what does that mean? Well, 4 days a week, I hop around like a goofball. I pull every major muscle in my body, some minor ones too, and I pretend to be Mike Tyson. Granted, Mike has made a few bad decisions in his life over the years, and biting an ear off an opponent's probably the 10th craziest thing he's done. But if you've ever seen footage of Mike in action, he wears a shirt into the ring that says, "Be real." And he would play a Tupac song that was called "Keep Your Head Up." Today, I'd like to be real with you. I can't claim to have some sort of plan of action for you or tell you how to live your life, because in grade school, the nuns beat me with a wiffle ball bat. In high school, I pretended to be David Letterman and threw things out the window for 4 years, so I can't give you advice on how to live your life. But I can tell you what I learned from watching and listening to Mike, and that's to be real and to keep your head up. You see, with this thing, you spend all your life worrying about likes and comments and clicks and views and what other people think of you instead of being true to yourself. AI, filters, Photoshop, other people's pictures, other people's videos, they're not real. Facebook, Instagram, Snapface, Snapchat, whatever you want to call it. You have 100 friends, right? You'll be lucky if 3 of them are real in 10 years. The real ones are the friends who pick you up when you're down. The people that you go to for advice or help, not the ones that retweet or like or swipe in a direction. Just pick your head up, you'll see them. Rizzing up people on a DM, hitting up their Snapchat. Translation, introducing yourself to someone and charming them with your online persona and charisma. That's not real. What's real is the pretty girl sitting next to you right now with the beautiful smile, or the well-dressed man that'll make you laugh. They might even be sitting next to you right now. You'll never see them if you have your head down. Forget the emojis, guys. The greatest pickup line in the world, hello. Instead of looking at everyone else's food and travel pics and experiences, I urge you to go create your own memories. Go and experience life in person. Everything life has to offer. Go build real relationships with the people that matter. If you pick your head up, you'll see a beautiful world that's out there that's ready to explore. I don't know if you remember this or not, but we had a thing called online learning, virtual school. And we did what we had to do to overcome lots out there. But that wasn't the same as real school, was it? I think back to the first days of this semester, and I know I couldn't wait to see and meet you when we finally had that first in-person class on the third day. That's when we finally began to build that relationship that culminates today with you graduating. With this, you track and you look at videos of your sports heroes in the media, but those pics and videos are edited. They're just somebody else's highlights. Those experiences belong to someone else. If you're looking for real heroes, try and walk these halls before you leave tonight. We're in Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall. Those wars that were fought by real people. The obstacles and opponents that they overcame were real. Those men and women were and are real. Just pick your head up, and you'll see evidence of them all around. Better still, the real heroes are the ones who stayed up all night worrying about you, the ones who went to all your games or drove you here today. Those people are real. Your parents and family have done more for you and cared about you more than any Kardashian, any LeBron, or Taylor Swift ever will. Pick your head up. Like Bandersky would say, they're right here. Maybe you bury your head and play games or even gamble with this because it gives you a rush of dopamine or a high. That feeling is artificial and short-lived. Wasn't truly earned by living. This is just junk food for your soul. It produces a short-term buzz that will always be followed by a hollow crash. The real highs in life are earned and lasting. I'm talking about the high of getting that first job, apartment, house, car that's truly yours. The high of knowing you put in an honest day's work. The high of finishing a challenging run or lift. The high of cutting the grass and getting the lines just right. The high of proposing to someone you love and asking them to build a life together with you. The high of watching your children be born. I hope you all get to experience the real high of being a parent and watching your children succeed in making the world a better place. These are life's real moments, and maybe they aren't fast or easy, but they're earned, and they'll last forever ingrained in your soul. The high I received from you asking me to come here and share today with you, and really just sharing all year with the class of 2025, that was real. You gave me inspiration to keep my head up this year. So now I ask you to do the same. Keep your head up, class of 2025. It's been real.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Jennerette, and I'm honored to stand before you today as the top scholar speaker. I want to begin by thanking all the top scholars for trusting me to represent such a hardworking and inspiring group of students. In ninth grade English, we were tasked with memorizing a poem and reciting it out loud to the class. The poem I chose was Human Family by Maya Angelou. I remember standing in front of my mom, repeating it over and over again in our living room, trying to commit every line to memory because we were being graded on how well we could recite the poem without looking at a piece of paper. I'll be honest, I don't remember the whole poem now, but there's one line I can never forget. The line repeated 3 times at the end. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. As we celebrate today, our accomplishments, our growth, and the future that lies ahead, I think it's important we reflect not just on who we are individually, but who we are together. We've spent years walking through the same halls and learning side by side, but soon we'll walk into a world that's louder, messier, and much more divided than the classrooms we came from. We're entering a world where difference is often treated like a threat, where people are encouraged to see others through a lens of us versus them, where it's easy to scroll past pain that doesn't look like ours, or to silence voices that don't agree with our own. But we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We don't have to buy into that. In fact, we can't, because we know better, because we've lived and learned in a community like Fox Chapel that, for all of its challenges, has shown us what it means to be a family. A family isn't about sameness, it's about support. It's about showing up. It's about recognizing the strength in our differences while staying rooted in our shared humanity. The education we've received here is a gift. The opportunities, the encouragement, the expectations, those are privileges not everyone gets. And with privilege comes responsibility, not just to chase success, but to use it, to speak up, to reach back, to pull someone else forward. Whether we go into medicine, law, education, business, the trades, or the arts, we have a responsibility to use our power not just for personal gain, but for the good of others, for our human family. Because we are the ones who will decide what kind of world we build next. Will we go with the grain, or will we go against it? Will we choose to be defined by division or by compassion? Maya Angelou's words remind us of something simple but profound. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. That's not just a comforting thought, it's a call to action. It means we owe each other to care. It means we owe each other respect. It means we have a responsibility to see ourselves in the struggles of others and to work for a future where everyone has the chance to thrive. So let's take the love, the lessons, and the leadership we've cultivated here and use it for something bigger than ourselves. Let's be the kind of people who stand up when it's easier to sit down, who reach across lines when others build walls, who listen deeply, speak honestly, and act boldly. Let's show the world what it means to be Fox Chapel graduates. Congratulations, class of 2025. We've made it. Now let's go make a future we're proud to be a part of. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is with great pride and admiration that we gather today to celebrate 3 outstanding students whose character and actions truly set them apart. The Principal Leadership Awards recognize individuals who not only strive for excellence, but do so with unwavering respect, responsibility, and integrity. These students lead by example, treating others with kindness and dignity, owning their actions with maturity, and making choices guided by strong moral principles. They show us all what it means to be leaders, not by title, but by the values they live every day. Today, we honor these 3 students for being role models in our school community and for demonstrating that true leadership begins with character. Please join me in recognizing this year's recipients of the Principal Leadership Awards, Lily Macero, Jonah Klein, and Wyatt Muller.
Okay, class of 2025, please prepare to receive your diplomas.
Anna Grace Moan. Rohit Velankar. Kellen John Blyer. Ridgely Carol Boychuk. Nathan Richard Mackey. Gabrielle Givens Jenneret. Jonah Edward Klein. Wyatt Jack Muller. Lily Justine Macero. Boston Sophia Bitar. Elena Grace Karen. Shayna Rose Horwitz. Blake Dylan Kuhn. Peter Anthony Michelli. Avanti Muvala. Varnuja Rangaramanujam Kanagaraj. Milan Dave Gola. Omar Mohammed Albantane. Murugan Ayanar. David Antonio Black. Milo Loki Chu. Anna Katala DeLelo O'Connor. Noelle Grace Dick. Maya Catherine DiPasquale. Brooke Natalie Fenton. Benjamin Michael Fiedler. Elena Sonali Batra Hershey. Owen Young Howell. Raina Lu Huang. Itash Janji. Patton Alexander Johnson. Arnhem Kuchau. Woody Lee. Pierce Burjay Osterholm. Sangyan Park. Rachel Catherine Pegger. Hyuno Rowe. Fahrad Sant. Finnegan James Saunders. Caleb Benjamin Shirk. Jinlang Song. Yuki Zhou. Malik Chosette. Olivia Kate Dugan. Marina K. Dunham. Lindsay Elizabeth Gold. Kent Baker. Zoeanne Suchan Chator. Simran Sani. Cecily Christine Sarah. Youssef Ahmed Abdesalam. Jennifer Sydney Adamo. Caleb Ross Adams. Jackson Philip Adams. William Joseph Adams. Zaid Almagazachi. Tessa Elizabeth Allen. Taylor Jane Aloise. Ainsley Veronica Anderson. Ava Irene Andrasik. Claire Adele Offenberg. Mikhail Bagroff. Talon Ellis William Ball. Christopher Eli Bandersky. Catherine Jane Banyas. Matthew Robert Begg. Sophia Maria Berger. Jack Sebastian Bergman. Parker David Beal. Brennan Harris Boloski. Tyann Georgia Binion. Lila Parker Blythe. Amelia Rose Bowling. Jonathan Eli Branch. Shane Albert Browell. Lincoln Jacob Burgess. Adeline Noel Bursick. Luca Alessandro Skorzinski. Riley James Pucklis. Alex Guanhanya Kim. Sophia Grace Klaus. Ava Noel Condren. Avriana Lorraine Ebig. Kai David Yoshinobu Edwards. Judah Aaron Casey. Dominic Peter Casil. Luca Sebastian Catone. Shala Ipis Sehum. Henry Ames Chamberlain. Rebecca Yohui Cheng. Isabella Renee Cheatham. Mohammed Tariq Shak. Marina Rachel Salenti. Everett Russell Clanton. Allison Lorraine Clark. Derek Michael Clements. Nicholas Andrew Klump. Jayla Chantel Cohen. Marin Scott Casano. Robert Daniels. Christian Elamlaw Dante. Megan Henning Delaney. Molly Catherine Delaney. Eleanor Grace Deering. Gabrielle Elizabeth DeVita. Emmanuel James DiNatelli. Anquan Din. Emma Grace Donovan. Jacob Todd Depstadt. Reed Mark Eknat. Peyton Alexander Yori. Mark Nicholas Farah. Claire Elizabeth Fezco. Ethan Bryant Filter. Jonathan Charles Finch. Timothy Robert Fire. Regina Ray Fitzsimmons. V. Grace Falar. Amelia Joy Finn. Josephine Christiane Jaguer. Madeline Lorraine Jones. Liam Michael Foley. Tommaso Davide Fontecchio. Anthony Xavier Forquette. Riley Rose Francis Perka. Marianne Fraunholtz. Mason Finn Friday. Landon Christopher Funk. Stefan Fusaro. James Michael Gagan. Ethan Nicholas Gale. Owen Alexander George. Ava Marie Gerasoli. Selen Gailani. William Cavey Ghaznavi. Talon Richard Nefkowski. Robert Warren Gehring III. Tyler Samuel Goldstein. Caden John Goodworth. Madeline Paige Grimsley. Joshua Robert Gunzenhauser. Parker Jake Haberman. Jackson Reed Hagler. Shahid Hamada. D'Angelo Hamilton. Gabriella Julianne Hampel. Adam Peter Hartman. Jude Thomas Hassenflug. Brody Brian Helsel. Chase Anthony Hendren. Cooper Payne Hendren. Brianna Christine Nateau. Zane Vaughn Holmes. Lincoln Edward Marshall.
Salome Alexandra Navas Grival. Rachel Evelyn Nist. Elena Rose Okenowick. Justin Robert Horn. Riley Catherine Horvitz. Tristan Alexander Huffine. Francesca Gemma Iacella. Nicholas Michael Ingram. John Thomas Jarvis. Ella Rain Jennings. Brady Morgan Johnston. Daniel John Jones. Ariana Elizabeth May Kaiser. Caden Desmond Scott Kaiser. Nicole Hain Kang. Ryan David Kaufman. Seamus Quinn Kelly. Aiden Noel Kelly. Sahara Lily Kinderlair. Colton Robert King. Alana Ann King Bennett. Anna Catherine Kinter. Haley Elizabeth Kiro. Davis Franklin Kitsley. Nathaniel Richard Clammett. Liam Patrick Koffler. Grace Elizabeth Kovac. Maisie Sarah Krychovic. Micah Charles Kramer. Adeline Jane Kress. Carson Thomas Krushansky. Joseph Telios Coons. Paris Marie Kolakowski. Daniel Dexter Kwiatkowski. Adam Matthew Lang. Ava Sophia Persichetti. Margaret May Rushi. Avery Jean Shapira. Sienna Raquel Siegel. Natalie Grace Hanlon. Antonio Ladon. Vaughn Anthony Leventree. Douglas Charles Lasoto. Riley Lynn Little. Joshua David Lowe. Kaylin McFarlane. Eamon Khalil Mahon. William James Marcusson. Timothy Paul Marks. Preston William Maisie. Dylan James McCaffrey. Daniel Gerald McCree. Issa Stone McCutcheon. Devin Grimsby McDonald. Davis Andrew McDonald. Cooper Michael McIntyre. Owen Parker Metrick. Sarah Jean Mahalik. Robert Noah Miller. Alina K. Minturn. Stella Marie Minturn. Anakit Monat. Jacob James Henry Mooney. Jason Andrew Murato. Kyle Alessandro Morera. Riley Annabelle Morgan. Isaac Robert Moser. Kennedy Ann Merton. Swathi Serathi Mailarapa. Victor Dominic Nurnberg. Justin Min Win. Gianna Angelina Tavalario. Colette Marie Walter. Maya Grace Wilson. Katerina Wu. Tiffany Knock Nguyen. Rowan Michael O'Brien. Give me the card then. Sean Emmett O'Connell. Liam Joseph O'Donnell. Kyle Matthew Santos Ong. Aiden Lee Orts. Hannah Chris Parker. Sarah Pasquella. Augustin Asher Passarello Carnavali. Natalie Marie Patel. Nicholas Susanj Patel. Gianna Grace Patterson. Jillian Christina Pelcher. Benjamin Edwin Perez. Pablo Marcelo Laswain. Linda May Perez. Vanessa Kristen Zareth Perez Milano. Shay Bella Pick. Melissa Azua Peets. Francesco John Pistella. Rocco Silvio Pistella. Nina Isabella Marina Polderman. Luca John Polai. Rebecca Marie Pohl. Alyssa Ann Quackenbush. Mira Chirku Reddy. Madison Elise Resnick. Resick. Mary Grace Rhodes. Mathen Robert Ricci. Josiah Lee Rivera. Gabriel Luke Thomas Rongier. Adina Michaela Rosen. Addison Anila Rose. Rossi. Sophia Rose Rezatarski. Grayson Anthony Santucci. Keegan Joseph Scanlon. Natalia Lauren Schaefer. William Schlegel. Caleb Jonathan Schreckengast. Joseph Henry Seifried. Autumn Violet Sheehan. Gretchen Rose Shellstack. Ezra Samuel Senza. David John Sharina. Austin James Sines. Caroline Catherine Slember. Caitlin Elizabeth Smith. Charlotte True Catherine Smith. Hannah Elise Smith. Ty Alexander Smith. Amanda Grace Sokol. Ayla Solomon. Paige Elise Solomon. David Philip Sorencio. Henry McLean Stallings. Holden Francis Stars. Bethany Marie Snook. Aiden Jacob Stein. Emma Elizabeth Stein. Ariana Michelle Stevenson. Maria Jean Steiger. Jane Patricia Stone. Mia Andrea Stover. Rowan Joshua Straw. Cameron Richard Swack. Oliver Allen Terrick. Sophie Miranda Thorne. Landon Hudson Torres. Luke Christopher Chai. Thank you. Rafael Silva. Edith Louise Tudhill. Samuel James Ummer. Bella Teresa Lynn Ursu. Ethan Tyler Vaughn. Alexandra Rose Vita. Jack Braxton Beatty. Haley Ray Vorchak. Andrea Singy Wang. Thank you. Christopher David Warnicki. Tegan Elizabeth Welty. Asher William White. Liam Brian Wiseman. Michael Robert Worston. Osman Nurmuhamedo. Nola Yugasik. Timothy Yee. Nathan Edward Yeski. Khalil Elijah Young. Altai H. Umach. Harmony Jade Zaccanini. Owen Alexander Zarembi. Bradford Donald Zimmerman. Charles Bradley Larson. William Appich.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2025.
Class of 2025, please rise. We have officially graduated, so let's move our tassels from the right to the left. And family and friends, please rise and join us for the alma mater. Seniors, reminder to stop behind the stage to get your actual diploma. And please remove your tassel. And on the count of 3, let's throw our caps. 3, 2, 1, throw!
All right, we're out.
Congratulations, Lindsay.
Mr. O'Connor.
Rocky! I'm just following back.